Hello everyone, Cosmic Carrie here. Another reading for you today. Firstly, a bit of housekeeping. I've been away for a few days, hence I haven't done a face-to-camera video for a few days, but I did, if you check the channel, put up a couple of shorts to sort of keep your interest going. There will be more shorts, and they tend to be nature shorts. I'm going to try through the spring and the summer to mostly do outside nature shorts, but the reading today was inspired by a recent road trip that we took at the weekend to Brighton on the wonderful south coast in East Sussex. We had a really lovely time, and so today I bring you a beautiful pick a card, pick a pile reading, and it's called She Sells Seashells, which is an old song or tune or nursery rhyme about Mary Annick, an amazing lady who gathered shells and found out a lot of important information about shells and coastal life. There's a film about it somewhere. I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, starring Kate Winslet, I seem to remember. She sells seashells. It's also a tongue twister, isn't it? So expect my words to get stuck in today's reading. So if you have a look at the thumbnail, you'll see there are some 3 lovely piles, and I will explain each pile as I go along. So what I wanted to do today is a slightly different approach, a bit of a departure from the norm, which I think is always good. Typical Scorpio, need to mix things up, even though I'm a fixed sign. I'm the sign of transformation and change, and I need to remember that. So mixing it up a bit today. I've been noticing all the synchronicities and signs since I decided to do this pick a pile reading for you, certainly from early this morning, but also yesterday. So what has come to me has been 12-12. So have a look at that. 2-1 is 3 twice, but 12-12 significant. A very important number that came up today in the bank account was 23232. Interesting, so definitely a pattern there. And also when I was out walking just now up the lane for my daily stroll, I saw in the sticks on the ground very clearly a rune, which is, it looks like Sai, but it's elk or algiz, I think it's called. It is the rune of protection, but it's also the rune of self with nature, the self with nature, and that totally fitted because that was myself in nature. Great. So these were the signs and synchronicities and symbols that came up when I had this video in my mind. So I'm feeding that back. Some of those numbers will mean something to you. As ever, this reading is timeless. It's for the individual and the collective, the cosmic collective. Take what resonates, leave the rest for someone else or another time. I have saged and cleansed the area with not white sage, can't remember the other sage, dark sage, black sage, not sure, another kind of sage. Also, we're being graced by this beautiful light here, which is also in the thumbnail. We'll see that, cleansing the air. And also a very lovely crystal that a good friend of mine, Jan, gave me. And this is our little clear quartz crystal that is blessing our reading today. So thank you, lovely Jan. This will sit up on the computer as we proceed. And also in the tiny shell, and this tiny shell was not a shell that was gathered from the road trip the weekend just gone. It's one I've had for a very long time, but in it there is a little third eye charm, which is protection. We also have that at the back here, and there are 3 little pieces of glass. Now, I don't know if any of you out there listening or watching are beachcombers. I certainly am. I absolutely love the beach, any beaches, and I will always look for things as I'm going along. And I'm a big fan of collecting rough and tumbled glass. And so there were 3 tiny little bits of glass. They're so small, I don't know whether you can really see them, but they are in the thumbnail, so you can zoom in when you have a look at the thumbnail. So I'm going to leave these on the other side of the computer there. So we have 3 lovely piles. So I'm going to move the piles aside and start with pile 1. I will put timestamps below if you want to skip a pile or jump to one. And as ever, I notice when I do these pick a pile, pick a card readings, there are often connections between the piles. So it may be that you do one or more, or indeed all 3. So without further ado, let us begin. So the first pile, pile 1, is this lovely, let me show it to you, fossil. I found this on the beach when I was looking. Well, it jumped out at me because it has a very beautiful pattern, and it's definitely a stone. It's definitely a fossil. Yeah, as you can see with that side stone, and on this, and in fact the pattern of whatever it is, I mean, I think this is a fossil, a stone, a fossil stone, and what is on it is the imprint of some sea vegetable, some sea plant. Now I have done a little bit of research, and I think it could be something called dulse, D-U-L-C-E, dulse or dulce, which could be a kind of, I don't know, plankton type thing, or seagrass, something like that. But I think that's what that is. So it's probably very, very, very old. So we're looking at ancientness when we're looking at pile 1, fossil with dulse. So let's have a look at what cards we've got. And I forgot to say what we're using. So we're using Colette Baron Reid for Wisdom of the Oracle. We're going to further clarify with Storm Raven. Storm Raven is my own deck and was inspired by the sea. And eventually, when it comes out for publication and you can buy it, the picture is of a raven carrying a twig, and he or she is going over a stormy sea, hence Storm Raven. So we're clarifying with Storm Raven, 3-word Divine Oracle, and then the mini tarot, which is the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot, and further clarification of a charm from our amazing bag of charms. So let's start with Colette. What does Colette want to tell us about this lovely fossil, which is containing dulse? It's an imprint, isn't it? It's an imprint. It's about ancientness. Millions of years old, this piece of stone, of fossil. Let's have a look and turn over the card. Oh, chopwood. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Chopwood, 42. 4 and 2 is 6. 6 is progress. Love that. And interestingly, as you'll know, when you've gone along coastlines, there's always a lot of pieces of wood on the beach, with the shells, with the pebbles, with the other things that wash up on the beaches, including non-natural stuff like plastics and rubbish, which is always very sad. Although I have to say, the beach where we were, Climping Sand, or Climping Beach, I think it was called, was very clean actually. It was very clean. I don't know if that's because they have beach cleaners, but I was very impressed. Anyway, so the card clarifying the fossil is chopwood. Chopwood is all about attending to the little things, and it's, when you look at the picture, it's about sweeping things out. It's spring cleaning, and we are in spring, aren't we? So it's still about, we're still in this energy, I think, because this card came out fairly recently on this channel. I can't remember when, you might remember. So it's about cleaning up, dusting out the corners, sweeping away the old energy in your spring clean, making way for the new. Making way for the new. And it's funny because that's in direct contrast to the old. The fossil is very old, and this is saying, make sure you're cleaning up, chopping wood, make way for the new. So there's a sort of a polar effect, isn't there? The old versus the new. But perhaps it's also saying, know which bits of the old to maintain and to keep, and know which bits to sweep away, make room for other things, or just for space. So it's perhaps about discernment. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Okay. So let's have a look at the tarot. Spirit, what are you giving us to clarify chopped wood? Perhaps the discernment that we talked about. Oh, lovely. Major Arcana. Oh, well, no, Two of Cups. What am I talking about? It's the Two of Cups, guys. It's not the Major Arcana. Yeah. Here we go. Got that confused briefly with the Lovers. The imagery is not dissimilar. The imagery is not dissimilar. So, I wonder if this is talking about relationships. It could be. So there we see a man and a woman, and they're holding cups. I think are they exchanging cups? He's certainly reaching out to her. And then you've got this beautiful angel, well, this winged creature above, which with what looks like a caduceus with serpents entwined, and their home is in the background. I always look at the faces, and he looks as though he wants to compromise, and I have to say, she has got a bit of a grumpy look on her face. She looks a bit cross. I don't know, that might just be my interpretation. So perhaps it's talking about a relationship, guys. Let me just see what they say for cups. Chalices, they call this, chalices. Number 2, love, passion, friendship, affinity, union, agreement, likable. So perhaps this is an exchange. And if we're saying this is in relation to tidying things up in a relationship, so it might be that something within an existing relationship is changing. And if we're talking about in relation to the fossil, the old and the new, I think this is what we're saying, isn't it? The old and the new. So it's knowing which bits perhaps in relationship to allow to pass through and away and make room for new stuff. Yeah. All relationships transform, change. That's the normal way of life, the normal way of relationships, whether it's personal, romantic, business, or any other relationship. One and one other. Yeah. It's an exchange, isn't it? There's an exchange going on in the card. So it feels like it's perhaps exchanging something old for something new, or vice versa. I'm also getting vibes of contracts, perhaps marriage, perhaps engagements. What came to mind then was something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. Could be something like that. So 2 of chalices, 2 of cups, fair exchange. Interesting. Can we have further clarification, Spirit, please? That is interesting. Okay. We have a nice synchronicity. A new broom. A new broom. I love this. So this is an air sign. Air. Ooh, try and avoid the glare. Oh, there, just about if I tip it forward. A new broom. And of course that correlates to there. There we have broom. We have broom twice. A new broom. Is it makes light work. So again, it's about clearing stuff out. A double message, a double confirmation here. Clearing stuff out, perhaps from a relationship. Whether romantic or business, as I said, or some other collaboration. Could even be a relationship with ourselves, a part of ourselves. Which part of myself do I need to allow to let go? Which pattern of behaviour, which way of being doesn't suit me anymore? What have I outgrown? What do I need to release in order to make room for something better or new or just very different? A new broom. So this is about clearance. It really is about clearance, isn't it? Clearance in a relationship, either with self or with an other, an other, with another. Lovely. It's the stuff of life. Air sign. So that's going to be Aries, Leo, Sag. That might mean something. Or you may have Aries, Leo, Sag in your natal chart. I don't have much Sag. Got a bit of Aries and a bit of Leo. Couldn't tell you which houses offhand. And then the final clarification is this tiny little charm, which is a brush and a comb. It's 3 brushes, isn't it? When I looked at this, when it came out, when I drew this up from the bag of charms, I saw the comb and I thought, beach combing, that kind of fits. But I'm just realising if this is a brush, which I think it's meant to be, that's the 3rd brush. There we have a brush or a broom. Here we have a mini one. Yeah, a mini one for a personal grooming, or even if we're grooming a pet, a fur baby. And then we have a new broom. So this is giving triple clarification, pile 1. Pick a card, pile 1, card 1. Clearing it up, chopping wood, clearance, making room, sweeping, tidying. Do that. And I think when that happens, and when we're getting messages from Divine, thank you for these messages, I think we often get this when something big is about to come in. Something big could be on its way to you, pile 1. And we know that they encourage us to change up the energies, to clear out, to get our house in order, whether it's our internal house, our actual house. And it's talking about relationships, so that's really, really important. So it could also be indicating something big is coming to you. So get your ducks in order to allow that thing to come in perhaps quicker or more smoothly. That's a great message for pile 1. Thank you, Spirit. Let us move on to pile number 2. Okay, let me explain the item found on the beach. So as we were walking along, found a hagstone, which was really interesting. There were no other hagstones around. I mean, millions of things on the beach, but mostly shells, whole shells, broken shells, medium-sized pebbles. We said other detritus, unfortunately things like plastic and rubbish and things. But really not that many stones that I could see in the immediate vicinity with holes in. And so here we have a hagstone. That really jumped out at me. And it's sort of circular. This is like a tube. So again it's a fossil. It's a fossilized stone with a hole in. This is giving me vibes of the eye, seeing, seeking, clear vision, clairvoyance, seeing to the heart of the matter, protection. I'm getting so many messages and downloads from this. I'm not sure what this could have been. It could have been like a crab's claw that is fossilized, or a piece of sea vegetation that fossilized over millennia. So it's again a very ancient symbol, an ancient bit of the sea shore in Brighton. We will know more. Let's find out more. Bear with me, just going to take a little drink. So let us turn to Colette Barron-Reed. Colette, what would you like to tell us about pile 2? And we have the hagstone, the seashore hagstone. What more information can you give us about that? Oh, I like that. All right. So we have number 28. 2 and 8 is 10, which is the end of cycles, and then it's unity 1, add 1 and 0, and you get 1. So it's 10. So it's the end of cycles, beginning of cycles, 28. And it's building blocks. I like that. So that's interesting. I'm getting a few things off this card. I'm not sure I've ever drawn this card from Colette's deck. And I have had the deck a couple of years. It's interesting, isn't it? 28 might mean something from you. And we said 10, and then unity 10, which is 1. 28, 1 and 10. Building blocks. something, you have been building something, and this is saying that it's being recognized. But what I'm channeling is this woman here who for me feels a bit pixelated. What do I mean by pixelated? I mean that she's not quite in sharp vision. So I'm channeling from this card, you've been doing good stuff, working on whatever you're working on in life, whether it's relationships or work or creative projects or, you know, anything else that you do. But what I'm getting here is that the building blocks are happening, you're doing the good work, and you can't quite see clearly, it's not in clear sight, either the way forward or what's coming next in this project for which you are placing solid blocks down and creating a solid foundation. You are creating a solid foundation. So it does feel creative, this pile 2, more so than pile 1. Look, I mean, she's done quite a lot, you know. There's good solid foundations that have been placed down. But it might be that you've got to a space where you're not sure and you cannot see forward. She's not quite looking out to sea, but she sort of is in that way, you know. She's looking for something, I think. But what I'm getting from this is that it's not clear. It's almost like she's waiting for something. And that would fit in with this if we're saying this feels a bit like an eye. The eye. I think the messages are multiple from this item, from this object. I think it's seeing what you're doing and it's good. But you're looking and you can't quite see clearly. You cannot see clearly either the next step or the next stage in this thing that you have given birth to, that has a solid and firm foundation. But that's okay, guys. What I want to say is that not the way of the world? We will build something, put solid blocks down and make great progress, and then of course there's a bit of a lull and we can't see what's going on, and either we need to stop because we're tired and we need to regather energy, recharge batteries. So the sense I'm getting a little bit from this lady on top of her firm foundation is that she's looking for direction or looking for more information, perhaps. But what I see also from that is that some of the blocks are sort of in the air. What I'm also getting is that she is also, the blocks are part of her, is what it feels like to me. I don't know if that will focus. She is the blocks and the blocks are her. So that says to me that you're really personally entwined in whichever creative project you are. It might be that you're an artist, it might be that you're a singer in a band, in another creative project that you're really entwined in, that you're intricately a part of. And so what I'm getting from that is, don't worry, guys. Relax, continue. What you seek is seeking you, even though you can't see that. Looking out to see it, but you can't see it yet. It's on its way. That's the feeling I get. That's what I'm channeling when I look at that card. More information, please. Storm Raven, what do you say to this? Oh, that's very nice. Lovely. Earth, green, which is the heart chakra. And that is, I choose love. I choose love. Doesn't really need much explanation. Self-explanatory. You're seeking and searching and you cannot see. You know it's on its way to you. Choose love. And choose what I would call, and that's in one of the songs that we've written, the velvet waiting. I'll have to put on in the description box below which song that is. And if you're interested, you can go and have a look on Deezer or Spotify and find it. The velvet waiting. But it's I choose love. So don't choose panic, anxiety or anything else whilst you're waiting for this other information that's on its way to you. Wait in the velvet waiting and wait. I choose love. Choose the way that is love. I mean, as we know, the answer to everything is love. Love is the answer, and you know that for sure, John Lennon. I choose love. And that to me is also because of the lady on the card, on the building blocks. I feel that what I'm channeling from this card is I choose myself. I choose love, and I choose to love myself in this process. So I think it's actually asking us to foster self-compassion. If we're waiting and we felt a bit frustrated, or we've done so much work, why isn't it coming, blah, 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 all those things, yada, yada, yada. Be calm. Choose the velvet waiting. Choose love. So pile 2, what tarot do we have to clarify this amazing message about waiting for information, seeking, looking, watching? Oh, yes. Oh, I love this. So the clarification, pile 2, is Major Arcana, the World. I'm getting a few downloads from this. I think this is really important in that here we have a lady who's carrying wands, I think. Yeah. Not quite sure what they are. Looks like she's doing a bit of a balancing act. That's what I'm picking up from it. I don't know whether it really means that. There will be those of you out there who know much more about the meaning of the world. But I just know that it's a cycle of completion. I think it's the last card in the Major Arcana. Shoot me down in flames if it isn't. I'm just going to have a look. Major Arcana, the World. Perfection, full success, completion of an undertaking and reward. Yep. As I said, what you seek is seeking you. Never be afraid of that. Know it. It is a truism. What you seek seeks you, my friends. And this is clarifying that. All the building blocks. Where is it? I'm waiting. It's coming. And what's coming is this. Completion. It's everything. It's you completing your journey. When we say the Major Arcana and the Minor Arcana are pictorial descriptions of life's journey. This is the ultimate. It's the end. You've reached the end of the journey in a really good way. You heard the words. Full completion. You're just where you need to be. Right now. You're where you need to be. And of course, I'm picking up the circle. We said the 1 and the 10, didn't we? 2 and 8 is 10. Not too far, my friends, until this is arriving. It's on its way. It seeks you. That which you seek seeks you also. And you're being encouraged to wait with compassion. I choose love. The velvet waiting. Lovely. And a final clarification for pile 2. Yeah, we've got a tiny little sort of what would have been used as a mini calculator, I don't know, in the 19th century. 2 and 2 equals 4. I'm getting a few things off this tiny charm. It's so sweet. Let's see if I can get it to focus. 2 and 2 is 4. That's saying to me, you're absolutely where you need to be. You've added 2 and 2 and you're getting 4. It would be different if it had said 2 and 2 and you're getting 5. That would say to me, you're doing something not quite, you're not quite aligned, something's not quite as it should be. Not terribly wrong, but it's not saying that. It's saying 2 and 2 equals 4. Now 4, as many of you will know, but if you don't, you're new to this channel, welcome. Let's give some clarification. 4 is stability. Think of the chair legs. Think of the table legs. You are where you need to be. I mean, when we look at this woman on her building blocks, what she's created, she's on a pretty firm flooring there. That isn't going anywhere fast. Firm foundations have been built. What you seek seeks you. Watch your energies. Try not to be too anxious or worried. And if that comes up, it's showing you it needs to be dealt with and looked at. help to release it in a good way. This isn't even saying, because sometimes I get this charm and I think it means be measured. That's not what I'm getting today from this charm. This charm today is saying you're exactly where you need to be. 2 and 2 equals 4. You're in alignment. What you seek seeks you. The circle of completion is not far away. And people say, oh, well, Carrie, you know, I've been waiting so long. How long will it take? This is where I step into the divine timing thing. It will arrive in your life in the best form if we can step back and not feel too grabby or I want it now or whatever. Release that energy. It's on its way to you. It's destined for you, so it will not fail to reach you. Enjoy life. Do other things whilst you're waiting for this other thing to arrive. Keep doing little steps forward. You're not that far away. Spirit, thank you. And on to pile 3. Wow. This is an amazing reading. I hope you're enjoying this pick a card, pick a pile reading. She sells seashells by the seashore. Tuesday, 28th of April 2025. 2 for Joy Oracle with me, Cosmic Carrie. Something I forgot to say at the beginning, and I've just looked at my notes, and let me just do a quick diversion before that. I'm actually wearing a little bit of smoky quartz today. Smoky quartz. Now, I follow a whole host of people on YouTube, and I follow somebody called Pamela Georgelle, who is, I think she's Canadian, an amazing tarot and divination person. I think her channel is The Lucky Mermaid, something like that. Anyway, Pamela Georgelle, I'll put a link in the description box. And she said for May, although we're not quite May, a couple of days, Scorpios, clear quartz, smoky crystal, smoky crystal. Yeah. So that's my crystal for the month of May. Hence, I'm wearing that today. Anyway, on with pile 3. So the shell, and we have a shell now, is this one. Absolutely enormous. I love these. I mean, it's actually, I'll have to go and weigh it. It's the weight of that shell is amazing. You know me, I'm just fascinated by Mother Nature. Always in total awe of what this earth gives us. What Mother Nature gives us. And we have this beautiful, beautiful flat oyster shell. It's a flat oyster shell. Let's try and get it in all so you can see it. I've got a few of these at home and I've gathered them over the years, and sometimes I use them for holding things or to put a smudge stick in so it doesn't burn the furniture, or as a little soap dish container, a natural one. But this is one of the biggest ones, and I just, even now as I'm holding it, it's just so weighty. So when the other half was together, that must have been quite weighty. I mean, this half on its own is weighty. So we have a beautiful big flat oyster shell as the shell from Climping Beach in Sussex. So again, not so old. I don't know how old these are, but I think I saw a program a while back. It takes a couple of years for them to get this size. Some of you might know. If you do, put it in the comments box. I'd love to know, and I'm sure other people who watch and follow me on this channel would be interested too. A couple of years old, I think, 2 or 3, to get to that size. Yeah, so it's one of the biggest I've collected. I love it. And actually, when you look at it, even within the shell, oh, if I can try and avoid the glare, there's another. It's just how the layers have formed. But there seems to be another shape of a shell within a shell. And of course, it's one half. So there we've got some information. So without further ado, wonderful Colette, what would you like to tell us about the very large and beautiful flat oyster shell? Ah, that's interesting. So we have, again, number 10. That's fascinating to me. What was that other one there? That was 42 was 6, wasn't it? Yes, we've got the second 10 in a row now. Unfinished symphony. Unfinished symphony. So perhaps we're talking about the cycles of life. But what's interesting is this is only half, isn't it? This is half of one shell. The other half must be somewhere. This is one half of a couple, a pair. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up from that. And what we have got is 10 again, so the end of cycles, unfinished symphony. In a way, it links in with the second reading, I think, which is you're nearly there. Your symphony isn't quite finished yet, and it's still reminding us of that, I think. And this could be relating to music. Yeah, we've got the G clef, we've got crotchets. So this is about music, it's about a creative project. We've got something that looks sort of like a bit like a music and Pirou character sitting on an egg, and the egg of creation. The egg is of creation. And when it's an unfinished symphony, and I just can't help thinking it could be musically oriented. It certainly relates to me. We're not far from finishing our second album. That's a little bit we need to do, but it could be relating to any other kind of music or any other kind of creative project that you have. It could even be talking about the music of creation itself, the music of creation, because there's a tone to that, isn't there? Music of creation, of your creation, and of your creativity, whatever that is, whether it's music or something else, art or literature or sport or whatever it is, something in creation. And again, as I say, it's a reflection of the last pile 2. They're aware that you're finishing something up, and you're being given encouragement here, I think, in the finishing of it. Again, not saying it's not far away that things will be more complete, the unfinished symphony. Perhaps even there's something in that. What I'm picking up now, what I'm channeling is the unfinished symphony. There may be, even when you've finished a project, some part that you feel isn't quite finished, you know. Perhaps that's okay. Perhaps that's okay. Perhaps it's as finished as it's going to be. That could also be a meaning from the card. But it's funny that it's unfinished symphony and it's number 10, because the 10 is the end of cycle. Yeah, it's kind of the end of cycles, beginning of cycles again. But what else have we got on the card? We've got some birds. We've got a couple of birds. Could be songbirds. Birds are always a sign for me. Spiritual support and ancestral support. Support of ancestors. Love it. So, can we have, Spirit, some more clarification with a tarot? Let's see what the Radiant Wise Tarot will tell us about this pile 3, the flat oyster. The flat oyster. Oh, okay, we have the 6 of Cups. We have the 6 of Cups. I love this. So this is the minor arcana. 6s are about progress, moving forward. And on the card we've got the, I'm not sure whether it's an adult giving a cup filled with flowers to a lady or to a smaller person, which could be a child. But anyway, there's a gift going on here. There's a gift that's happening in this scene. The 6 of chalices, as they would call it in this deck. So let me just get you the extra words. 6 of chalices, they say for this deck, pleasant memories, useful reflections. Oh, pleasant memories, useful reflection. Six of Chalices. Interesting, because I'm not really picking up those words from the card today. That's not jumping out at me. But what I'm picking up is gifts. Gifting somebody something. This character here is gifting this character here with a very big chalice or cup of flowers. White is divine. Not sure what the flowers are, but there's white flowers all around now. So this feels like sort of charity, love, gifts, receiving, giving and receiving is kind of what I'm picking up from that. There's a nice vibe to the Six of Chalices. And so the numbers there continue what you're doing, what you do, what you're creating for the world in its unfinished symphony form is a gift for the world. You may finish it. You may not. You may finish it to a certain degree and feel that's good enough now. And then share it with the world. Particularly if it's a musical project. Yeah. I love that. But what I'm also now getting other downloads from the flat oyster in is that what you're doing is a pearl. I'm channeling that what you're doing, what you're gifting to the world is so precious, guys. It's like the pearl in the oyster. It's like the pearl in the oyster. And I'm not sure that you know, or you haven't stopped to realise how amazing it is and what a pearl it is for yourself, for humanity. It's a real pearl. Very, very precious and rare. So let us look to Storm Raven, please. Now, when I shuffled the cards and gave them an airing and made sure the energy was good, for pile 3, we got 2 cards. So I was guided to take both of them. So the first of the 2 cards is I Am Calm. Again, heart chakra. Yes, and it's earth. It's an earth sign. Green is always earth, Mother Nature. I am calm. And so that might be in the completion or in the moving forward of the projects, of the creativity, of the egg of creation here. Be calm. Be zen with it as you're doing that, as you're finishing it, tying off ends. Be peaceful in your heart. Have love in your heart, like it said in the pile 2. I'm calm. And the other second Storm Raven, that's lovely, is an air sign. And the message is, Daddy, my daddy. Now this has very personal meaning for me. It's something that relates to me and my own wonderful dad who passed away, and it's a spirit guide for me now. When I see this, I know he's around, giving me support. So it may be that you have passed on dads or male figures, or they may still be alive. But the yellow is also, sorry, the yellow is air, again air sign, Aries, Leo, Sag, and my dad was Sagittarius, so that fits for me. So it may be either the masculine figure for you there, the father figure, or the air sign Aries, Leo, Sag. And it's funny, isn't it, because we had Aries, Leo, Sag before. That's right, a new broom, that was Aries, Leo, Sag. So look in your natal chart, you may have placements there, that might relate. Daddy, my daddy. So that's very powerful for me, and I am calm. Thank you, Spirit. And then the final charm for pile 3, flat oyster shell, is interesting. It's an egg. I love this because this really rounds things up and it makes total sense. So here we have a tiny little, oh, we'll try and avoid glare. We have a, there we go, a tiny little chick emerging from his egg. So for me, this totally fits in with the egg of creation. You're about to hatch. You are about to hatch your creative project, is what I'm getting from this. And it fits in again with pile 2 in that what you seek seeks you, and you're almost there. You're almost there. So if we take all 3 piles, we might say the following. Pile 1, tidy up, sweep out the corners, make room for good energy. Get your ducks in order. Get your chicks in order in a way, because there's a duck there. Yeah, lots of broom energy there. Pile 2, the firm foundation blocks that you set are good. They're solid. You are seeking more information. You can't quite see what you'd like to see yet. You're not sure even what you're looking for. But what you seek seeks you, because we know that. The World card was confirming that. And in pile 3, we have, it's almost finished and ready, what you're doing. You're almost there. It's almost like you're almost crossing the finishing line. And your creative project is about to hatch, to be birthed, and the unfinished symphony will then be finished or completed, or a step nearer to completion. Yeah. And you have support from the ancestors. You're encouraged to stay balanced, but you're exactly where you need to be when I look at these 3 piles. What you're doing is good. You're being encouraged, sent love and guidance, protection from the ancestors, particularly that algae room that I saw before I did the video. So wonderful, cosmic ones. I've really loved this reading for you today. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please like, share and subscribe. Tell people about Two for Joy, neighbours, friends, strangers. Yeah, try and help me build the channel. I think we're up to 26 subscribers now, which is brilliant. We are growing slowly but steadily, and that's absolutely enough for me. So thank you, Spirit, for guiding us today. I have really loved my time with you. I've got another short that I'm going to put out probably tomorrow or the next day, and I will definitely do a face-to-face video or something in terms of astrology, zodiac sign type stuff before the end of the week. I'm off to Glastonbury on Thursday for Beltane, which is a very big festival, and I will take my phone, my camera and things, so possibly something on Friday from that Beltane in Glastonbury celebration. So I wish you all well and have a really lovely week. We have lots of sunshine, which is amazing. The sun shines upon us. I will see you soon, and take care, and bye for now.